Hello and welcome to Old Toy, New Joy, the show where I share with you my previously enjoyed toys which I purchased from online sources, collectors' shows, and thrift stores. Today I decided to mix it up a bit, and rather than speak about toys, I wanted to share with you my baseball card collection. Now I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I don't find baseball terribly interesting to watch. However, I have always been fascinated by the story of integration or desegregation in Major League Baseball, essentially the breaking of the color barrier across all the pre-expansion teams, which occurred between the late 1940s and late 1950s. Now, as I show you these cards and talk about some of them, you'll see that they are not professionally graded. I do buy the card and not the grade. And my aim with this collection, which I started a few years ago, was to basically have representation of every player who took part in integration of baseball in the major leagues. Unfortunately, some players had very short careers in the major leagues, and so there might not even be cards available for them. But I've still tried to represent them as best as I can. So the collection goes in chronological order of the cards as they came out over the years, and we'll just start at the beginning. This first page is dedicated to mostly early Bowman cards from 1950 to 1952, with the exception of 1951 Topps, Hank Thompson there. My favorite card on this page would have to be the 1950 Bowman Sam Jethro rookie card. Sam Jethro was a former Cleveland Buckeye, and he was the first player to integrate the Boston Braves. Already, we're at my favorite card of the collection. This is a 1954 Topps Jackie Robinson. Jackie was a former Kansas City Monarch. He won Rookie of the Year in 1947, and he was, of course, the first to integrate the league. And my wife bought me this card. Here is a 1953 Topps Satchel Paige that I treated myself to. I deliberated for months, finally agreed on a card that fit my budget. And Satchel was a former Kansas City Monarch, and he was the first pitcher to integrate the American League at the age of 42. Oops. And these are my 1952 Topps. I still need to get 3 more to finish off the page, which is what I like to do if I can. The cards that I would love to put in there are George Crowe, Joe Black, and Sam Jones 52 Topps. However, they are high number cards in the set and very difficult to get. Rather expensive because they were produced in short supply. But I would have to say my favorite card on this page is the 1952 Topps Larry Doby. He was a former Newark Eagle, and he was the first to integrate the American League and the Cleveland Indians. Here's a beautiful example of a 1955 Topps Hank Aaron and a 55 Topps Ernie Banks. These are sophomore cards of both players. The rookies are a little out of my reach. Here's my 53 Topps. My favorite card here would have to be that of Luke Easter. He was a former Homestead Gray, and he was known for hitting long home runs over 450 feet. And that's how he drew crowds to games. I have an empty space here. I just purchased a 1953 Topps Joe Black, who was a former Baltimore elite giant. He joined Jackie Robinson on the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1952 and won the National League Rookie of the Year. And so I'm waiting for him to arrive from eBay, and I'll pop him right in there. One of my favorite cards. This is a gorgeous 1956 Topps Willie Mays. And 1956 Rookie of the Year Frank Robinson on a 58 Topps, which is his sophomore card. Here's a early 1950s Mother's Cookies Artie Wilson. Now, the thing about Artie is he was a former Birmingham Black Baron. He had a 402 batting average in 1948. He played very briefly with the New York Giants, and so there is no Topps or Bowman card of his time spent with the major leagues. This is from when he played with the Pacific Coast League, which he helped integrate when he joined the Oakland Oaks. And he had several batting titles while he played for 4 different teams during his time in that league. There's a 53 Redback Joe Black. I really like that card. And these are mostly 54 Bowmans. There's my only Roy Campanella. I love that look. There's Carlos Bernier, who along with Curt Roberts helped integrate the Pirates. Beautiful Jim Gilliam there. Maybe this is a good time to talk about Hank Thompson. He was a former Kansas City Monarch. He was the first to integrate the St. Louis Browns along with Willard Brown, who we'll talk about. And also he integrated the New York Giants with Monte Irvin of the New York Eagles. There's a Hector Rodriguez. That's his only card. Nice pressed photo of Jackie Robinson. Here's some 54 Topps. There's Bob Trice, who integrated the Athletics. There's a 47 to 66 exhibit. These were, they put these in vending machines, I believe, in the 50s and 60s. There's some more 54 Topps. There's Curt Roberts there. Chuck Harmon, who helped integrate the Redlegs. There's Monte Irvin. One of my favorite cards actually in this book is this 54 Topps Jim Gilliam. He was a former Baltimore Elite Giant, and he won the 1953 National League Rookie of the Year that year. This is his sophomore card. This is a beautiful press photo of Willard Brown. He was a former Kansas City Monarch, and he actually integrated the St. Louis Browns in 1947 with Hank Thompson, as I mentioned. And he was the first player to hit a home run in the American League. And a very short career in the major leagues, although he's a Hall of Famer for the work he did in other leagues. And so there's no Topps or Bowman card for his time either. So I wanted to at least have a picture or something of him in the book. And these are some 55 Bowmans. There's actually a few rookies on this page. Dave Pope, Gene Baker, there's Tom Alston's only card. But my favorite, hands down, would have to be this Elston Howard. He was actually the first player to integrate the New York Yankees. He was a former Kansas City Monarch, and he played with the likes of Mantle and Berra. Here's some 55 Topps. These are very nice looking cards. You notice with Topps from 54 to 56, they used a lot of the same photos of players and just kind of changed up the backgrounds on the cards. Chuck White. Here's some 56 Topps. Similar sort of look to these cards. It's a nice picture of Satchel. Here's some 57 Topps. I really like that Hank Thompson. There's Minnie Minoso. He was a former New York Cuban, like Hector Rodriguez. And he was the first to integrate the Chicago White Sox, playing alongside Hector, and Chico Carrasquel. Here's a nice colorful 58 tops. It's Bob Thurman. Here's Chico. I really like that Elston Howard. I like the red in the background. Here's your three All-Stars: Ernie Banks, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays. These three guys were immensely talented, but also very fortunate that they were able to break into the league young. And so they didn't spare any of their athletic prime. Other players didn't break until their 30s. Or even in the case of Satchel Paige, as I mentioned before, he was 42. So great careers elsewhere, but in the major leagues, we never know just quite what some of those players could have accomplished. Here's some 59 tops. There's Harry Suitcase Simpson. I've always liked that George Crowe. He was a former New York Black Yankee, and he also played professional basketball with Jackie Robinson for the Los Angeles Red Devils in 1947. It's a nice Jim Gilliam. Don Newcombe, I like this card. He was a former New York Eagle, and he played with Roy Campanella for the Nashua Dodgers in 46, joining Brooklyn in 1949, and he won National League Rookie of the Year. Here's some 1960 tops. There's my Bob Gibson's, a little beat up. The only way I was going to be able to afford him. That's his sophomore card. It's a nice Curt Flood too. I like that card with the black and red. Some more 1960 tops. I have more 1960 tops than any other year, I think, in this book. I like him. I've always liked this card. Very nice look to it. It's Dick Ricketts. He played basketball as well. He was like 6'7" or something like that. There's Frank Barnes. He was a former Kansas City Monarch. Played with the St. Louis Cardinals and Chicago White Sox, but this is his only baseball card. I think he played for about 4 years in the majors. These are 1961 tops. I like the 62 tops. I like the look of the wood grain. There's a beautiful mini minoso despite the crease across the front. I love that card. That's my only Bob Clemente or Roberto Clemente. It's a little beat up, which is why I was able to afford it, but I love it. There's Pumpsy Green. He integrated the Boston Red Sox, which was the last team in the pre-expansion era to integrate. There's some nice colorful 63 tops. This is great for some of you who have never seen some of these cards. I mean, these cards are old. And baseball cards have changed over the years, of course, especially after the sports card boom around 1989, 1990. So I was glad I'd be able to share this with you. Elston Howard. And we'll stop it there. So I hope you enjoyed that. I apologize if I didn't talk about anybody that you feel I should have. I mean, everybody in this book was worth talking about. Good morning, everybody. This is your Toy Whisperer on Old Toy New Joy. Boy, it's really exciting whenever I get a package. This one is from eBay. I've been waiting a good month and a half for this. I got a couple on the way, so let's see what's in this one. Can't quite remember. Oh, okay, somebody has well wrapped it. I do know that they're sports cards, I can tell you that. So I'm being very careful. Oh boy, that's right. There's 1953 Joe Black I've been waiting for. There's a 1962 Topps Orlando Chipeta with Roger Maris, who of course broke Babe Ruth's single season home run record that year in 1961, was 61. He was played by Barry Pepper in the movie 61. I like that movie. And along the same lines, the great Say Hey Kid Willie Mays with Mickey Mantle in a 1962 Topps for the 1961 season. And Mickey Mantle was played by one of my favorite actors, Thomas Jane. And it's interesting, during the home run race, all eyes were on Maris and Mantle, of course, but the Yankee who had the highest batting average that year was none other than Elston Howard. Thanks, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed watching me open up some of my newest treasures. And one of the best parts about being a collector is displaying your collection, telling the story with your collection. I reserved this spot a while ago for the 1953 Topps Joe Black, as you know. It's mentioned earlier. And so here he goes between Harry Simpson and Luke Easter. And now I have a nice full sheet of 53 Topps in my book of various conditions. And I'm still trying to figure out where I want to put the Chipeta and May 62 Topps with Mantle and Maris. Probably in one of these little sheets here, maybe right in front of the 62 Topps page that I have. And I'll show you that page one more time for those of you who maybe aren't aware. Oh, thinking you must be because you watched this clip, but there it is. Yeah, so I'll put it near these guys. There's Orlando's regular card. I would still like to get the Elston Howard. I gotta get that. That's a great thing. You're never done collecting, are you? Really? Are you ever done? I don't think so. And that's why I like it. It's always something to look forward to. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody.